drive for a while. Yeah, America's craving some doom. Here you go.
Get me fucked up. Get me
Nah, dog, that shit's not worth the copyright. Are you kidding me? Alright. I'm feeling like a shuttle pilot right now, sitting in my studio. I got different tiers of shit. This is what I do. Okay, before every show, I have a Tylenol, a joint, a full glass of water, and then hold on. With my fucking Monster to make sure I'm ready to have it. By the way, thank you to Dancing Spider-Man GIF for opening up the show. Really fantastic stuff. I mean, like, this was crazy. I just met this guy at a party. It was kind of fucking insane. I saw him and I was like, oh my god, is that... I watched the whole time because I was thinking, like, there's no way. If he gets all of... Listen, if he gets all the moves correct... I might believe that that's Dancing Spider-Man at this party, but, you know, I just can't, you know, but it was, so I went up to him, I'm like, hi, I'm Rachel Vermington, I run RATURDAY NIGHT, and he was like, oh, I know who you are. I'm like, bro, Dancing Spider-Man has heard of me? You know, anyone, who gives a shit, right? Alright, why are we still on the first screen? Well, guys... I'm detransitioning. That's not what's happening. Okay, here's the real truth. The VTuber era is kind of over. I hate it, you know? I hate looking at it. It's so finicky. The technology always crashes. It's like, it's fucked up. So I'm gonna become a PNG tuber instead. I like being a little PNG girl, you know? So I'm transitioning, basically. Everyone congratulate me on having another step in my gender journey. So yeah, what's popping? Nah, but this was by Kippy, who also does like the original PNG tuber that I was using for the longest time when I like would play Risk of Rain and shit. She's new. We love her. We have a pretty sick show for you tonight, to be honest. Don't tell anyone. We have Momo Funbun coming on. Momo, you all probably know, does like Check Disc is like Momo's main thing, and it's music and visuals and shit. And we've played a couple of Hexens together before because, you know, I mean, both the first one, I think, straight up, right now, type in the chat if you were there for fucking Hexen 420, the original one, the first one with me and Chloe Mouse. Ooh, does that hurt everyone's hearts? Anyway, maybe just me. Alright, listen. Momo Funbun tonight. I like my eyes, they're kind of an optical illusion. Yeah, let's get right into the flipping damn ass show.
RATURDAY NIGHT is filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Already my job is easier than it usually is. You guys are already talking about shit. What's going on?
Hi. We were talking about brain damage.
Who's yours?
Yeah, pretty much. We were spiraling off of mine, yeah.
Okay, sick. Cool. Well, welcome to RATURDAY NIGHT. This is Check Disc, Momo Funbun. No one here who's like, oh, cool, I'll tune into... No one here is like, I'll tune into RATURDAY NIGHT, but who's this Momo Funbun person? Like, I'm not introducing your ass. What are you doing right now? What are you up to?
I'm trying to get my shit together is what I'm trying to fucking do. I've like been sort of off like all year. Like this year has been a lot of like personal shit happening, and I was just like you know, I need to like, I don't look at Twitter as much anymore, and it turns out that's actually fantastic. It actually turns out that's a really smart thing to do.
I'm so jealous. Yeah, I gotta say too, like I kind of sort of noticed that you weren't on Twitter as much now that you mention it, because like I think I follow you on Twitter, or at least maybe I did on my old account before I got suspended for being mean to Terps. But fucking yeah,
you're
like,
so fighty with Twitter.
Yeah, I have a bad relationship with Twitter, but like what I'm trying to say is like, you know, I remember like every once in a while seeing a shit post you made on Twitter and being like, ha, that's funny, and then like retweeting it or some shit.
Yeah.
And then I hadn't, yeah.
That's
the correct
I haven't seen you on Twitter
forever.
Like you can't.
Oh yeah, no. You use Twitter to post garbage. You dump your thoughts. If you're on there to like have serious discussions, like you've already lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't be. This is the thing. This is an intervention we've been staging, actually. You gotta stop fighting with bitches on Twitter.
Okay. I'm gonna try, but I cannot guarantee it'll be successful.
We're gonna lock you in your room with no heroin, and you're gonna have to just keep going.
Yeah, we're gonna do like a full train spotting here.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no.
What? So wait, you said you're getting your life together. What happened? Do you want to talk about this?
I mean, it's real simple. I like went back to like the South to like visit family for Christmas, and then a whole bunch of family stuff started happening at the same time, and I was like, well, I should stick around for a bit. And we're finally on the other end of that, and I like, oof, man. 1-2 punch of like stopping taking hormones and then going back to the house I grew up in, just woo, buddy with the brain.
Oh.
But it's all been like kind of part of like, okay, I didn't tell my doctor this, so no one's allowed to send this no one's allowed to send this shit to my doctor. So like I showed up here and like I didn't have a hormone prescription, and it's like, I'm in Mississippi right now. Like where the fuck am I gonna get a hormone prescription there? So I think like a couple weeks into it, I just sort of like accepted it, and I was just like, you know what? No, I'm going to let this happen. I'm going to go back. I'm going to let the testosterone ravage my brain, and I'm going to go back to being Boy Morgan from like a decade ago. And I'm going to use this as like I'm going to do this as like a performance art thing, and really get back into the mindset of like old, like really just like socially maladapted teenage Morgan. And I did that specifically as like a writing tool, because I've been writing this book for a year.
Oh shit, you're writing a book?
Yeah.
Dude, RATURDAY Night exclusive. Holy shit.
I've tweeted about it a couple times, but
well,
I've never made.
it's an exclusive.
I haven't made a formal announcement.
Okay, well, we'll just say it's an exclusive, so I feel better about myself.
That's true.
So you just went like full, not like fucking TTTT boy mode, like, ooh, the whole like, puts on my bra, puts on the hoodie that's a little too tight so it does show my bra a little bit, and the hoodie's kind of long so it looks like a dress, and I'm wearing jeggings, and I've got a little bit of makeup on, and my hair is all done, but I'm a boy. Like, full on.
Like, I would full on repressor, like just like full on.
That sucks, dog. Why?
To see what it did to my brain.
Yeah, okay, well, what did it do to your brain? Be a fucking cautionary tale for us here.
Oh, I'm fucking miserable. This is the most I've thought about killing myself in 6 years.
This...
Yeesh.
Holy Christ.
But hey, now I have a cool story to sell with the book, because like the I got this stick in my craw a while back where like I started to think like people love to use the phrase like media diet, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got this little feather in my cap where like I started thinking about like consuming media and like interacting with like art and stuff like much the same way that one would think about like drugs in like a scientific context.
Okay.
Where like every TV show I watch, every movie I watch, like it's an adulterant I'm adding to my system that changes the way that I think about my own shit.
Okay.
So I did this thing early on where like I was like, I wanted to go out of my way to make something that was the dumbest, smartest thing ever, and also the smartest, dumbest thing ever. And I figured the best way to do that would be to just sort of give myself like cognitive whiplash. So in between November of last year and about 3 months ago, I did nothing but watch the stupidest shit that I could think of.
Okay.
Like I like full blown like digging through all the shit that I watched when I was like 14 years old that was on Comedy Central, like nothing of any highbrow quality whatsoever.
Okay.
And then about 3 months ago, I cut myself off from that completely, and I've just been doing nothing but like reading like philosophy textbooks and like watching pretentious movie stuff.
Okay, interesting. What's been the effect of that?
I'm not really sure yet, but like in a weird way, it's like, oh, it's bizarre. In a weird way, it's allowed me to get over some of my own hangups, my own pretensions, because like, God, and like the jokes that I make, like I love to use like pretentious artsy directors as like punchlines. So like fucking Gaspar Noé or fucking what's his name, Harmony Korine, like, or fuck Werner Herzog. Everyone loves using Werner Herzog as a punchline.
Oh yeah, Werner Herzog's great.
I've never actually like watched any other shit, with the exception of Herzog. I saw a couple, but like, so like I've been going back and like watching this stuff and realizing like, oh, like I was completely wrong. This is all like really good stuff. I just have my head up my ass.
Okay, I see. You're kind of like, you're giving yourself that perspective shift. It's like, No, I don't think I'm gonna say that. That's not.
You can't just like say and
No,
then
no,
not
no, no,
say.
no, no, no. Because sometimes I say shit in my head that does not sound good in real life, and this was one of those times.
Okay, that's
I'm willing
fair.
to work with it.
It's sort of your study abroad moment.
Basically, yeah, actually.
All right, sick.
That wasn't bad.
No,
I
but
don't know
that
what you're
wasn't my first idea, dearest.
Oh, okay.
I love this woman because all the time I'm like, I know thyself and all that bullshit. But anyway, okay.
Listen, I see the best in people, and I don't know. I see
You
the
see
best
the
in
worst in
people.
me for sure.
No, that is absolutely emphatically not true, and I feel like I feel that way to potentially a fault.
Okay, cool. I love that no matter whether I'm good or bad, I'm still bad. So Momo, what's this book about?
Oh, good lord.
No one pay attention to
so, where do I even start with this? Because I don't want to give too much away, but I want to give enough away.
Listen, if we're not high enough media caliber for that, I understand.
No, that's not what I mean. That's not that. God forbid. No, like I'll give any. I'll give any information to fucking anyone that'll talk to me. But it's like, I think the best thing to say is I really like the movie Crank High Voltage.
That's the one
I
with.
really like.
That's what's his name from the Cars movie, and he has a drug in his system that if his heartbeat goes, it's like Speed, but with some guy's heart.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
literally the movie with a guy's heart.
Okay, fantastic.
And also, he gropes Chester Bennington from Linkin Park in that movie.
In what way? What?
Okay, so the thing in Crank is that he has the artificial heart in his body, and it's attached to a battery pack. And then, like, immediately after he escapes, he crashes his car and destroys the battery pack. So he has to keep recharging the heart by electrocuting himself.
Oh, cool. Good for yeah. That's good for
And
engagement.
at one point, by the way, his doctor in this movie is played by country music star Dwight Yoakam, who is also a pimp.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
And at one point he's running low on battery and he's talking to the doctor, and the doctor's like, dude, friction, skin on skin contact. And so he goes to a horse racetrack and just starts rubbing himself against people so he doesn't die.
That is not where my head went at all.
And then he fucks Amy Smart on a horse track, and there's a full 4-second shot of a horse's penis.
Oh, nice. Like a real one or a CGI one?
I think it was real.
Who can we get the horse penis from Charged or
Listen, okay. I literally just finished. I just finished advocating for you, saying that I see the good side in people, but I gotta tell you, I'm drawing a line here. I don't want you banned on Twitch.
Yeah. No, let's not do that. It's a stupid bit anyway. Makes me sad.
No, we can't. We can't be doing it with the horse cock. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. This
Does
one.
this look like to you a Vouch stream? Come on.
Oh my god. No, we can't talk about politics. Everyone on Twitter's gonna mute me.
No, but we're not talking.
No,
about
we're not
politics.
talking about politics.
We're talking about people who talk about politics who don't know shit about politics.
No, that's the most politics of all, though. Come on, what are you talking about?
That's politics. We gotta move on. Shit, you guys watch the Dodgers game? Oh wait, fuck, wrong crowd. Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't. I had this phase where I was a little bit into baseball again after Germa baseball, and I was like, wait, this is a different sport.
It's not German baseball, so why even fucking bother?
Yeah,
German
exactly.
baseball.
I will say, my friends have gotten me into wrestling lately, and I was completely wrong. Wrestling kicks ass.
Yo! Okay, okay, AEW or WWE?
Oh, we're doing AEW right now for sure, because that's where it's at right now.
All right, who's your favorite wrestler?
I'm not that into it yet, but I will tell you that my favorite thing to watch are the old New Japan matches from when they still let them like beat each other until they were bleeding.
Oh yeah, that shit. Okay, sick. All right, so
Like-
you're
like-
not like into wrestling to the point where you can be like, that was my favorite, but you can kind of be like, it's just cool.
Yeah.
I can talk about eras, but not performers.
Okay, fair enough.
Interesting. That's such an interesting way to look at like a group of people. It's like the eras they've had. It's. What era are you in right now? What's the current era? What era are we moving into with Check Disc, with Momo Fun Bun, with your brand?
With the brand, like what's the upcoming character arc?
Oh yeah. What's the next Momo arc?
We'll see when I start taking hormones again, I guess. But like, for the time being, like, okay, so like, I tried to make myself more normal for a bit because I was thinking like, oh, maybe that'll make me feel good, but it made me feel worse.
There's just something about being unhinged that's comfortable.
It's comfy.
Well, I like.
What is it? So what is this? Let's talk about this. This has become Dr. Oz, but for like media diets. What does looking more normal mean to you?
Oh wow! Well, thank you. I'll be sure to. You just hit me with the invoice when this is over, and I'll pay you for the therapy session.
Yeah, for sure. Welcome to the show, Dr. Oz.
What does the Z stand for?
What does the O stand for?
Hang on a second. It can't be Dr. Oz. He actually got like the doctor equivalent of disbarred.
Was he ever actually a doctor?
He was a doctor, and then he wasn't because on his show he was peddling like alternative medicines as cures for cancer when they decidedly were not.
Cool.
So he got his medical license taken away from him, as
guy.
he should have.
Hey, hear me out on this one. What if it was actually pronounced Dr. Ounce and he was a weed dealer?
Dude, that's so crazy. Is that from the book? Did you write that down?
Yeah, man.
Okay, sick.
I wouldn't at all be shocked if it was Dr. Ounce because his first name is fucking Mehmet.
Mehmet Ounce?
I guess so.
Mehmet Ounce.
I don't.
That's a Digimon name.
A little bit. Okay.
Oh,
So
God.
wait, no, but you ran away from the what is normal? How do people become more normal in your eyes? I'm not trying to gotcha you and be like, you have a fucked up conception of what's normal. I'm just like, that's so interesting. I wonder what.
I'm actually also interested in this answer because, like, as somebody who has completely lost track of normal, I want some insight.
Well, and also, like, I don't know what it means. I've been autistic my whole life. I've been shot down,
I mean, I likely have been too. Doctors are still kind of iffy on that one. They waver back and forth between that and general schizoaffective, but
yeah, I love that. The best combo.
I'm trying not to. The fucking Dr. Ratty logo.
Don't worry about it. Don't fuck with the momentum.
Okay, sorry.
but I guess by more normal, I mean like every couple of years, I have this moment where like I haven't really been thinking about my actions up to that point, and then I stop and then I think for like 2 seconds, and I'm like, man, I gotta chill the fuck out.
Yeah, that's understandable.
And so like. It's just like it's like trying to like take stock of like the things that I say and the things that I think are funny and like the people that I'm around and like I don't know, like I'm not dissing anyone when I say this. I'm just like growing sick of like the sort of catty trans woman Twitter humor right now.
Oh my god, no, I know what you mean.
What
and like
pretend I'm stupid. What is catty trans Twitter?
I like people that post like LGBT posters that actually go outside.
Oh.
Interesting.
I don't have any like dislike for those people. It's just like that sort of like sense of humor where like the tweets just like it's like you're hitting the 240 character count and like you are just rattling off like 9 different like super niche like trans woman like community terms, and like people just kind of look at it and laugh because they're like, hey, I know those words.
Oh, okay, I see. You were too
okay.
funny for Twitter for a while. I see.
That's not what I mean.
Okay.
It's not an ego thing. I decided it wasn't as funny to me anymore, and so I started thinking like, okay, where do I go from here?
Okay. All right. That makes sense.
I don't begrudge anyone that does it. I'm still friends with all those people. They're nice people to me anyway. But like I have this joke that I posted in a Discord server I hang out with like music friends and stuff. And one of my friends has been like begging me to post it because she thinks it's so funny. And like every time I read it, I'm just like, yeah, if I post this, I'm a caricature of myself. Like,
What's the... Okay. In full, like, fucking separating art from the artist mode, what's this post that you can't make?
I've been doing a lot of these lately where like I just like in like an app like Telegram or like Discord like just sort of type out and use the emojis to like make it look like I'm like sending like a series of tweets.
Oh, okay.
And the first tweet is like something that has like a whole bunch of like big viral numbers on it, and the text is something like a giant hallucination of Freud appears in my peripheral vision every time I hit on a they them with the same color hair as my mom. And then like that's like got a bunch of numbers on it, like people like fucking 20,000 retweets or some shit. And then the reply to that is just like, hey, we're dating now, and also if they leave me, I'll kill myself.
Cool. All right. Yeah, I'm understanding.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this tweet like a fucking high school English class looks after fucking Triumph of the Will. Man, that was really hard for me. Fuck. I had to.
We're gonna be psychoanalyzing this like my fucking divorced English teacher that made us spend 6 months on Death of a Salesman.
See, but you're doing it now.
I'm doing what?
You're doing fucking posting voice where you're like, run that clip back. Do we have that capability?
What?
I guess we don't have that capability.
No,
I get what you're saying. It's just that's how I talk.
It didn't even. I have to apologize profusely. It didn't even take me through the entirety of the show before I was back on Twitter again.
It's like you guys just can't focus.
No.
This is my life, Ratterday life, baby. Anyway, we're gonna import a friend, if that's okay.
Yes, go for it. But like like. Not constantly checking my phone 24/7 looking for notifications and stuff. Like if I didn't stop doing that, I wouldn't be getting any work done with this fucking writing. And that's actually like a huge part of why I haven't been like posting as much. Is now like every time I get an idea for a joke that I could tweet, like another part of my brain is like, oh, here's how you could work that in as a joke in the book. And I'm just like, fuck, well, I can't tweet that one.
Yeah. No, but that's so effective. I do the exact same thing. I have a book and a half out. I wrote one book and now I'm writing a second one, and everyone should go check it out. We're accepting beta readers. But yeah, okay, so tell me more about this book though, because you're telling me like the skeleton around it. So does this have plot? Is this nonfiction? Are you writing fucking post-capitalist realism too, the sequel? Give me the details.
Well, so the reason I brought up Crank is it's an example of something that I, like the only other thing I can think of would be like, I mean, I don't want to talk down, but like you've seen like when I talk about parody movies, like genre parodies, I don't mean like the shit in the 2000s, like scary movie or superhero movie. That stuff is dog shit.
Yeah.
But I mean like Mel Brooks, like Mel fucking Brooks, like Blazing Saddles, Spaceballs is still pretty good, or like was it Abrams Zucker, the people that made the Naked Gun movies and Airplane?
If I'm like throwing darts at Cube, am I close here?
Cube
The movie Cube?
like well that one wasn't like an intentional parody, but like yeah, like that would definitely be on the list.
Okay.
But like there's this style of movie where like it's a parody movie, but it's not like parodying this stuff like haha we think this is bad, you know. It's not like oh we're parodying this to make fun of it. It's more like just sort of taking the general trappings of a genre and then elevating them to comedic extremes, almost as like in like the way that you would like sort of lightly tease your friends, you know, like you lightly punch them on the shoulder and call them a dumbass. It's like doing that for an entire genre.
Yeah, Jordan Peele shit. I understand. I have to put it in like a normie voice to figure it out. Oh shit. Camille, you okay?
Oh.
Okay, that was just loud. My roommate just dropped a huge metal pan.
It happens.
Yeah, totally. Okay, I'm understanding now.
But I'm trying to do that with like, cause obviously like I've been really into cyberpunk stuff for a really long time, and we're at a point where like cyberpunk stuff is like at like massive cultural saturation. Like you can't look one way or the other without seeing some cyberpunk shit, right? And I have a lot of problems with like the way that cyberpunk media is being handled right now. So I thought to myself, like, what if I did like this genre parody thing for like the problems I have with like cyberpunk as a genre, and like build it directly into the framework of the story. So I don't like the word deconstruction because it implies a level of critique, and this isn't supposed to be like critiquing it. It's just sort of like, I like this stuff, and I like making fun of the stuff that I like.
Yeah, it's the equivalent. Yeah, I totally understand. Okay, shit. I gotta read this. Do you want to swap drafts at some point? I have a draft that needs reading. All right, it's sick.
But like, so like to give an example, and then I'll actually go into the story after this. I'm sorry, it's just like
it's okay. Listen, I get it. You're giving us the tease. I like it.
The way that like I approach this, like I started like concept first and then went to story later, because that's just kind of how I do stuff. But to give an example, like obviously, like I'm again not talking down, but like we all know how like deeply weirdly Orientalist like all cyberpunk aesthetics are.
No, yeah.
Like deeply Orientalist in like a very strange way.
Quick, let's all say 3 jokes about that aren't racist. All right. Anyway, like they like it seems like the core ideal of a lot of these is like the future's scary because there's Asians. And I was thinking like it's never based on like modern aesthetics. It's not like you go see like Blade Runner, like the specifically like the specifically Asian aesthetics they're pulling from are already like 20 years out of date. And then you know like you think I think a lot about like vaporwave, for example, where like that's like going for like 80s, like late 80s, early 90s, like Japanese business culture, which you know like, and so I just got it in my head, like I was thinking like how weird must that look if you are the person whose culture is being pulled from to make these aesthetics. That's so fascinating.
Like
yeah, I wonder
if I was like if I was like a Japanese teenager, or like no, not a teenager, but like if I was like a 34-year-old Japanese man in like 2015, and I saw a bunch of American teenagers deeply obsessed with like my country's business culture from the 80s, I would be really confused.
Yeah.
Well, that's an interesting question too, because Cyberpunk Edge Runners recently came out, and it's like a really
Of course we're
good
gonna talk about
anime.
this.
Actually, that was done by Studio Trigger, but yeah, they're also working on a property that has that sort of, that sort of thing.
We've
where-
reached
Yeah.
we've reached the fucking
Yeah.
Ouroboros where now the only thing we can do without being awful is eat our own tail.
But what I wonder is, like, what were the crew thinking about that? Like, did they even care about that, or were they just like, I don't know, Cyberpunk cool, and it happens to use Japan?
Well, one thing I would say about that is like it's an interesting thing that you brought that up. It's like I think at this point, like that stuff, like the bits of culture that have been laundered through that genre, like have gone through the telephone game for so long that like with like bleeding edge modern cyberpunk stuff, especially like 2077, like you look at that and it still has those remnants of like the Blade Runner, like haha, isn't China scary thing. But like it's been laundered for so long through like various interpretations and misunderstandings that it doesn't even vaguely resemble the stuff that it was pulling from originally. So I don't think it's awkward or weird, because it's not really that.
Yeah, I will say too that there is one game that is within the cyberpunk genre that I think nails like cyberpunk without the Orientalism within it, and I shit you not, it's Rush 2049, because it takes place in San Francisco, and it's all Americana. Like, it's not necessarily Americana, but it's just the idea of it's America, but the future and tech innovations went like buck wild.
America,
And it's really interesting because it came out in like I think either the early 2000s or the late 90s as like an arcade cab, and then it came out on the N64, so it's old.
Well, the other version of that
And-
is fucking like Death Race, where it's all
I love
cars.
Death Race.
All right, yeah.
Death Race
sick.
fucking rules.
Okay, sick. I'm glad we're on the same page. Thank you.
Rachel?
Actually, Death Race is a Death Race is a major part of the book that I'm writing, in the sense that
No.
okay, I'll reveal one of the meta gags that I was going to keep to myself privately because you seem like cool people. There's a thing where I modeled the main character after Frankenstein from the original Death Race, and then I gave him a brother, and I modeled his brother after Frankenstein from the Jason Statham Death Race, so that like there's a point of conflict in between the two of them, and the one modeled after old Frankenstein winds up winning the conflict. So that's like a subtle metaphor for how I feel about the Death Race movies.
Oh, okay. Very
Can I-
extremely subtle. Almost no one would get that. Fucking
I
clip
have a
that.
question
That's exclusive
for you.
shit.
Yeah, that is exclusive. But I do have a question for you, Rachel. Would you be utterly confounded if I had said that I've never watched a Death Race movie?
No, because I haven't. But also, I don't like car stuff, so maybe I am. I don't know.
Well,
You never
hear
were
me out on
like,
this.
yeah.
You might not like the original Death Race because it's super old and like it's like early David Carradine. I think you could get into the Jason Statham one because it's made by the guy who his name isn't Paul Thomas Anderson, but it's really close to Paul Thomas Anderson. He's the guy that made all the fucking Resident Evil movies.
Paul Thomas Anderson. Can we find out who
It's
Paul
like
Thomas?
Paul. His name's like Paul
Resident
W.S. Anderson.
Evil
As a
movie
producer or director? Paul W.S. Anderson.
Paul W.S. Anderson.
Yeah.
Paul Wes Anderson.
So
I can read.
Paul Wes Anderson. But like he made the modern Death Race movie, and it's literally just Jason Statham playing the most Jason Statham role of all time while he's talking to like fucking Al Pacino or some shit. Or, not Al Pacino, but like one of those guys. And half the movie is literally just Mario Kart, but people die.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, hey, we got Billy coming in here.
Yeah.
Shit.
Hold up.
Hell yes.
I wanted to sort of introduce it naturally with the flow of the show, but you already seem excited, so let's just get B in here.
Yeah, it's just, that's my friend from the computer.
B.
Hello.
Hello, friend from the computer.
Oh shit! Hi.
Hi, welcome.
Greetings.
Welcome to Friend from the Computer
hello.
B. B, what are you working on?
It's me.
Are you still doing
I'm
Catwood
working
stuff?
on,
You better.
I'm working on being alive right now. That's my main thing. That's my
That's
main
my
area of
main
interest.
goal right now. So
Yeah,
you
my
d-
biggest project right now is opening my eyes to the truth of the world.
Yeah, totally. Have you been reading?
No.
Good.
Yeah, don't do that shit.
So this is I've brought you both here today, and I had this idea when I saw B in chat. In fact, I'm gonna make it a whole fucking production. I'm gonna set up a political debate
shit.
stage and everything.
Oh shit.
I've brought together these two, what I consider to be archetypal posters of their unique generations. And I'm here as a cusper to
Okay.
moderate this discussion. What am I fucking talking about? Anyway, hey B, it's good to see you.
Hi.
I could feel how hard you were trying to like hang on to that intellectual.
Yeah, no, I'm
kind of
going.
thing.
My brain is going full fucking finger painting mode right now. I swear to
Yeah.
God.
No, I mean, like, yeah, I just noticed it because I also have those things where I try really hard to sound smart, and then I just sound even dumber by result of that.
I almost said something mean. Can I?
Yes.
Yeah, you can.
The thing is, babe, is that I'm actually really smart, and you're.
Yeah, you're right though. You're right though. I'm very dumb, and I'm okay with that. I like
That's
that
okay.
about me, that I'm dumb.
All right. Well, we've done enough fucking dick riding for this podcast. No, it's not a podcast.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
You
Yeah,
fucked
it's a
up,
talk show.
podcast.
Dr.
wanna-
Ratty.
You still had more to say about your book before we brought B in, so we'll do that. And we gotta ask B, interrogate B about working at McDonald's. How many squirts did they really make you do?
3.
Of
Yo,
each?
yo, can you
Lie.
hook me up with them sauce
That's a
cups?
lie. It's 1.
Yo, I'm trying to get like 50 buffalo sauce cups. Can you hook me up? You guys know that story, right?
No, I do not.
Do you have
my
like
fucking God.
a time frame? Like, is there like a limit? Because I could definitely get you like 50 sauce cups over the course of maybe a month or so. It just wouldn't be
Okay.
instantaneous, you know?
No. So like this, okay. So I worked for Best Buy for a minute, and something I didn't realize is that Best Buy takes like corporate training super seriously, and like they like when you sign up, like they like run you through like some intense fucking onboarding where I had to travel to a state over and spend a week in a hotel where someone was just teaching me the ins and outs of how fucking refrigerators and shit work.
That's so sick.
And the company paid for my flight, and then I was on the clock like 18 hours of fucking like I made like $2,500 with just learning how like phones work.
That's insane. That's such a good fucking job, though. Damn.
Yo, trust like I'm not trying to be out here going like, oh yeah, this corporation's really good to work for, but like they're desperate and they will just throw money at you.
Oh yeah, no. That's definitely the impression I was getting.
And plus, you have to
but-
work for Best Buy when it's over.
Well, I actually enjoy that because like I don't know what it is, but like I never get the customers who come in where like they think they know shit about technology, and then like I have to be like, oh no, you're wrong, and then they get mad because they're wrong. I never had that happen once.
Oh,
Damn.
sick. Oh, thank God.
Lucky.
But anyway, I was going crazy because I was in the middle of Arizona and I like didn't know anyone there, and I was just stuck in a hotel being forced to go through like corporate onboarding every day, and that's all I could do. So one night I find a bar and a ramen place near the hotel, and I hop in an Uber and I go to the ramen place and I walk across the street to the bar, and I'll skip all the details so this isn't a super long story, but I get really fucked up at the bar. And so I get a ride back to the hotel, but as the car is coming, I'm like, wait, there's a McDonald's across the street. I want to go to the McDonald's. I'm going to tell the guy to like take me to the McDonald's first, and then I'm going to get McDonald's, and then I'm going to go back to the hotel. And I'm standing in the McDonald's, I'm waiting for my order, and I noticed they have the cardboard boxes full of the sauce cups just like stacked up like behind the counter, like in a place where I can very easily reach them. So I get my order and I stand there for a couple minutes and I wait for like no one to be looking, and I walk up and just drop my bag in like the sauce box and I just lift it up and walk outside with it.
All right, sick.
And when I woke up like hungover the next morning in my hotel room, I looked over and on the other bed, because I was sleeping alone in a 2-bedroom, there's just a box full of buffalo sauce cups, and I'm just like, oh fuck.
I gotta say though, like sometimes shit is so easy to steal that you can just do it because it's funny. Like
It's fucking true.
I took like 10 of them and I filled a whiskey glass with them and I tried to drink it.
oh my god, okay, that's where it crossed the line for me.
Yeah, no, that's a little much.
Well, I got 2 sips in and I was like, no.
Okay, all right, well, good.
Well, now that's just sad. You should have done it.
Yeah.
Well,
Or
no,
you should've ordered, you should have gone back and like ordered like 80 nuggets, and then you could do like a nugget, like, you know, with the sauce cup and the.
What's happening,
Would've been
Nugget
cool.
fam?
Look, I got so drunk that I stole sauce from a McDonald's. I think the last thing my body needed in that moment was 80 chicken nuggets.
That's fair.
You don't need to be that drunk to steal sauce from a McDonald's. Most people would steal sauce from a McDonald's given the opportunity.
Even
You have a
sober,
point.
I feel.
That's fair.
I've completely
I
lost
would
track
steal
of what
sauce
I'm
from
doing.
McDonald's.
You do
Oh,
steal
you're talking
sauce
about
from
the bag.
McDonald's.
I have
was
like
thinking about
sauce packets up here on my desk, like right now.
Yeah, give us the insider shit. What's the best sauce packet from McDonald's?
drink it. Drink one right now.
Okay. I
You
have a
don't have
ketchup
to
packet
if you
right
don't
here.
want to.
No, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it because I'm cute. No, that's Wendy's ketchup. No, that's Heinz. No, that's okay. This is a McDonald's ketchup.
Do you collect different ketchup packets? What's the deal?
So whenever I get food, I always ask them to give me like 6 or 7 ketchup packets, because I actually don't like fast food that much, but I do like ketchup. So if I just cover it in ketchup, it'll just taste like ketchup, and I'll eat
Mhm.
that.
Okay.
But you know, I don't always get the exact proportion of ketchup, so I just leave the ketchup packets on my desk, and then like I'm here where I have like 8 different ketchup packets just around here, like scattered all across the floor.
Oh, we
Different, like,
disappeared.
You get yourself a packet drawer.
It's also like
Oh, I had one. I had
also-
one.
Okay.
And one of the ketchup packets exploded, and it ruined everything in that drawer. So I stopped doing that.
Oh,
it's
great.
also like you don't have to, you know, you kind of don't brain's gonna work eventually. You kind of don't have to go buy ketchup packets if you just get them.
That's true. If you just take them,
Yeah,
you don't
just
have
take
to
'em.
buy
Sure.
ketchup.
They're free.
They're
You know,
free.
if you think about
Yeah.
it, if you're really smart, you never have to pay for ketchup. You never have to pay for condiments.
But only if you're really smart.
Only,
Actually,
only
that
if you're
is how
smart
I
enough to-
live. I do not have a ketchup bottle in my house. I don't have like a bottle of ketchup. I just have so many ketchup packets, like so many ketchup packets. I have
Hey,
these
you wanna-
little
you wanna-
Tupperware containers full of ketchup packets and nothing else.
You want a fucking pro tip?
Yeah.
Here's what you do. If you want to eat food from a fast food restaurant, but you don't have the money for it, what you do is you go into the restaurant, right? And then you wait until the people behind the counter aren't looking, and then pull a receipt.
And then you go, yeah, I didn't get this piece of my order, and then they'll give it to you. They won't even think about it. Yeah, no, I've had people do that to me before, and I still give them the food because I don't give a shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you
I mean, if someone's doing that, they probably need food. So.
Oh yeah.
you also like are not paid enough to give a shit at all. I used to I was paid so fucking poorly at my last job that like okay, this is a secret, but I worked the fucking checkout counter at a grocery store, and I would just steal shit all the time. Not for me. I would just forget to scan it. I would just put it down the line without like even fucking looking at it. And it was random. It was always fucking random. Like it's just any person could get free shit from me, and I you know. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's
here's a
awesome.
fucked up anecdote I can share. Or not an anecdote, but just a little factoid. Did you know I make $19 at fucking McDonald's an hour?
That's insane.
Oh yeah.
Right?
That
It's
rocks.
fucked up.
I grade papers and I
it
make
doesn't rock 'cause
$50
I live
an
in the middle
hour.
of Seattle, so $19 an hour is like $6 in like any other state.
mhm.
But still, like it's fucking crazy to me that they pay me so much and this job still fucking sucks ass and I'm gonna quit tomorrow.
Are you?
Hell
It's
yeah.
terrible. It's miserable. Like it's actually terrible.
Working food service is bad enough. Working fast food service is like a death sentence.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
God, yeah.
what gets me is that like a lot of people devalue fast food as like junk food, and therefore the work to make that junk food is not valuable. But it's like you try making a burger in like 2 minutes or less.
Yeah,
Honestly,
dude.
it's kind of fun building the burgers and cooking the food. It's fun in like a video game way. It's like I'm playing like Papa's Pizzeria out here or something. But the part that I can't fucking stand, and the only part that they make me do, is the fucking customers. Is dealing with the people. I don't know what's wrong with the drinking water around here or something, but like every single person around here is just like fucked. Like fucked.
It's not the drinking water. Literally, it doesn't matter where you go. There are always like it seems especially egregious in like the cheaper priced places. So like Walmart, fucking
Yeah.
like McDonald's and shit like that, where the customers for some reason feel an extra sense of entitlement for being there. Despite the fact that it's like, motherfucker, you're in a McDonald's.
I think
Why
it's
are you so entitled?
embarrassment.
It
must be
higher and mightier
embarrassment.
than this. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
I go into McDonald's and I'm always fucking humiliated. I went into a McDonald's once. I was like, "Hi, can I get a $5 McDouble meal?" And the lady at the till said, "Oh, sorry, we don't serve hamburgers until whatever o'clock."
Wait. $5 McDouble meal. You're gonna have to elaborate on that. What is that?
There used to be this like value menu item where you could get a McDouble and fries with a drink for $5.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Buy the big and tasty or I'll never die.
But I will also mention that, by the way, all the food here, because it's a McDonald's like in the middle of like, you know, Seattle, it's fucking expensive as hell. It's like $4 almost. No, it's $4.95 for a single large fry.
That's fucked. That's stupid. I hate that.
Like it's total bullshit that like you can go get a meal for one person at a McDonald's that comes out to like $15 easy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane.
Well, it's like if I'm gonna spend that much money, I might as well go somewhere fucking good. This is like such a fucking podcast ass topic, but like, yeah, it's important to me. That's the wrong image. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. We just got Lord Michael on the deck. My lord.
The reason you go to McDonald's here is that anything good is like twice as expensive. So
Yeah.
I mean, you're kind of just fucked. Like you're fucked.
It's
Like,
weird that you say yes, Strix, because you're probably about the farthest from Seattle as it fucking gets.
Well, it depends. Because like our provincial minimum wage is pretty lackluster in comparison to the prices of rent, because even here rent is fucking egregious. It has no right. Like
God, yeah.
there is you will find like this hole in the wall fucking dirty ass like apartment that is infested with cockroaches and shit, and you'll have to pay like $900 per month for it on top of like a $1,200 deposit or something like that. And it's like,
yeah, around here that are done you
fucking-
like $1,500.
yeah, and it's like, yeah, like $900, that sounds relatively cheap in comparison to other places like metropolitan areas, but you also have to consider that this is decidedly not a metropolitan area, and really if you're not working in the oil field, you're not making enough. So it's like it's shit.
Yeah.
It's shit everywhere.
No, those
Shit
fucking
everywhere. It's
tech
fucking
people.
true.
Oh yeah, did you hear about this? Apparently, fucking Edmonton is the largest growing tech sector in whatever fucking country it's in. Can you fucking believe that?
Crazy.
You mean province, as in Alberta?
Edmonton.
Yeah, Edmonton is in Canada. in
Edmonton
Alberta.
is in Canada. Yeah. Why are we saying the same thing?
So like, wait, is that the part of Canada where like all the drugs are legal now?
That's the oil field like areas.
Oh, okay.
That's out in the middle of fucking nowhere. That's the prairies.
That's
I'm the
I was
only.
like, I'm still.
Oh, go on.
That's the kind of town only Terry Fox ever visited. You know what I mean?
I'm still like I'm still not over like I think it was like Vancouver area good for them. Like there's been like a big push to like basically decriminalize all the drugs and make it easier for people to like get access to clean drugs. That's great. When they were like campaigning for that stuff, I remember seeing pictures of like people going around and like they were giving like Willy Wonka ass golden tickets to like homeless people that said like, hey, come down to the police station and we'll give you clean heroin. And like and like they were actually passing out like clean heroin and needles in like replica jewel boxes that were like super long. And that's awesome. That's great. That's cool. But like all I could think was like, if I was on the streets and someone came up to me and was like, hey, we'll give you free heroin if you come down to the police station, I would run.
Yeah, that's not really trustworthy behavior.
Especially if they give me a fucking golden ticket. Like,
Yeah.
It just sounds like a fucking honeypot. Like it's honeypot of honeypots. Come get free heroin. We're cops. What do you mean? You're not. Anyway.
Hey, come on down to the police station. We'll get you some cocaine.
Yeah.
We'll get you set up.
But I'd take it.
I would too.
Yeah, because the Canadian police are known for being incredibly upstanding, members of public officers.
We can't spend
public
2 episodes in a row
service.
talking about Canadian politics, though, babe. You realize that, right? Like,
Especially not on the American debate set.
People simply will not continue to tune in.
It's important to America because the Mounties suck, and that can be a talking point or something.
Yeah, but nobody knows that.
Yeah,
I'll say this much: I don't even live in Canada, and I fucking hate Bell, and I think everyone that is a descendant of Alexander Graham Bell should be killed.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Totally. I mean, that's not. You don't even have to be Canadian for
AT&T
that.
is a horrible person.
Yeah, you don't even have to be Canadian to think that.
Wait, you say you hate Bell? Did you mean like the telecom service?
Yes, like the
good.
telecom service.
Yeah, I have
This stream, by the way, is brought to you in part by the fucking $60 a month plan I have with Bell Internet.
Okay, so this is the last thing that I'll say about Canadian politics, and then we can move on. But I feel it's important to mention that my provincial government in Saskatchewan owns a telecom service, like it's a crown corporation called SaskTel, and we also have really bad mental health service support. Why is this relevant? It's because Bell every year has a Bell Let's Talk Day, and it's supposed to be about promoting mental health. Like, hey, let's talk about mental health and shit. My fucking government will do free advertising on Bell Let's Talk Day for Bell, a competitor to our crown corporation. And still not do anything about mental health.
Fuck
and that
Bell.
pisses me so much off. Like, it's just like it grinds my gears into like paste.
It's like the telecom companies up there basically have like actual government power, and like it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we don't need to get stuck on this.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that's pretty cool.
Cool.
I'm like American, and I'm like American, so I don't know shit about Canada, but I do know shit about Saskatchewan. Specifically that I spent like an hour clicking around in Google Maps, and it's just fucking Ohio.
Yeah. You're right.
Ohio.
It
makes me so sad because it's fucking massive, and it's like if Ohio was like huge. That's fucked up.
Personally, I don't know a ton about Canada, but I do like the things that I do know. My favorite 2 things I know about Canada is that everyone from Moncton has the last name LeBlanc.
Moncton LeBlanc, yeah. Everyone knows one.
Yeah. Everyone knows at least one, and none of them are related to each other somehow.
They don't know each other.
You know, it's funny.
They literally don't know each other.
I've never seen them in the same room before, to be honest.
You know what's funny? There is a LeBlanc who lives in this city who was recently charged with crimes against children, and that's all I'm going to say.
That was the official charge. Crimes against children.
No, I just don't want to.
Oh, okay. Well, you did bring it up, so maybe
Well,
next time
I
just
guess,
don't.
I guess I brought that evil.
Well, hey, guess what? I'll lighten the mood. Somewhere deep in the Canadian wilderness is a lake that's called Pussy Lake.
Nice.
I didn't know that. I do now.
It's completely isolated, and like the only way to get to it is like you'd have to park on the side of a road in like the middle of the woods and hike for like 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
That tracks.
I want to go.
Hiking 30
I want to
minutes
go
to get
too.
that.
I really want to go.
Hiking 30 minutes to get to that pussy. You know what I mean?
That's right.
I've been to Canada a few times. I've been to Vancouver like multiple times, and the last time I went to Vancouver, I remember thinking like, "Wow, this is just fucking Seattle." Except I had McDonald's there, and it was fucking garbage, and it made me really, 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 really upset.
I think McDonald's is more
really
of a budget thing in Canada than it is in.
No, like honestly, it kind of tasted better than it does in the United States, but it didn't taste like it does in the United States, and for some reason that made me mad because I think I was like 16 and autistic.
So it goes.
Gen Z poster.
Like I got a quarter pounder and I was so fucking hyped to eat a quarter pounder, and then it wasn't a quarter pounder, and it just made me really mad. Like really, really mad. Like what is this? Why is this in the box?
That is.
Canadian Taco Bell's pretty good.
No, not really.
No? Okay.
That is really interesting though, because like I like as a Canadian, like I haven't spent a whole lot of time in America, so I'm always wondering like how much is different, you know? Like if I go down to America to one of the very, very rare Tim Hortons restaurants, is the coffee going to taste the same? Are their donuts going to taste the same? Like, is it?
Oh, absolutely not.
Different? Is it?
Absolutely the fuck not. Like I can tell you, like I was in Michigan for a bit, and they actually have Tim Hortons there, and I've been in Toronto for like 45 minutes, and like I had a donut like at a Tim Hortons like whenever I was in Toronto, and I had a donut at the Tim Hortons on the other side of the U.S. border. It is not the fucking same.
It is not the same. I had a fucking bagel from Tim Hortons once, and it was like the best bagel I've ever had in my life from a chain restaurant. That was a really fond memory. Is having a bagel from Tim Hortons.
Is Dr. Pepper in Canada, does it taste different than it does in America too?
Sodas with seriously, like don't get me started about this, because this is like actually something that I'm very deeply autistic about, but like sodas are like pretty uniformly the same as far as like formulation goes. What you're gonna get from country to country is the formula stays the same, but like what kind of sweetener they use is very country dependent. And then also more importantly, like the syrup to soda ratio is completely different depending on what country you're in.
Yeah, so that's what gets me. That's what gets me about it, is because at some point next year I'm going to be going down to Florida, and I am worried that I'm going to go down there and buy a Dr. Pepper and be so excited because I love Dr. Pepper, and then be tremendously disappointed that it tastes completely different. Like I'm very nervous about that now.
Like, okay. I went to Canada. Well, like I was in the United States, and then I went to Canada for like a week, and then I came back.
Mhm.
In my experience, the soda tastes mostly the same, but like slightly different in a very, very like, it's like, oh, is that something, or am I just like seeing that? Is that not there? I don't know.
So would that
But
be
it
kind of
mostly
like
tastes the
a?
same.
So then would that be like a texture kind of thing? Like
It's more like a flavor profile thing.
Autistic chicks trying to be subtle. So like, what's the texture like?
Okay, but like actually though, because like I imagine if you're using different sweeteners, it'll also change how the soda sits in your mouth after it's
That's
left
actually
your mouth,
really
right?
that's a good point.
No, it's
Because
true.
that's the thing. Because that's the thing, though. The reason, like, I don't mind the taste of Pepsi, but I fucking hate how my mouth feels after I drink Pepsi. Hate it.
I'm that
It
way
is
with Coke.
painful.
No, like Coke specifically, I've never been able to drink
Coke.
like,
Yeah.
I've never been able to drink normal Coke, and because I don't know what it is, but like the second that shit leaves your mouth, there's just like this film on your teeth.
Yes. Yeah. And like, I'm worried that I go down to Florida and fucking drink it. I'm like, oh, it tastes about the same. And then all of a sudden, I have a very bad mouthfeel, and I'm like, oh no, I can't drink my favorite soda.
I don't think that'll like happen. I don't think that'll happen with Dr. Pepper. But if it does, there's a trick. They sell 2 different kinds of Dr. Pepper down here. There's the one that comes in the plastic bottles, and that's just like normal Dr. Pepper. But the shit you want is if you go to a grocery store and you see they sell Dr. Pepper in glass bottles in a 4-pack, and it should specifically say that it's Dublin Dr. Pepper, and that is from the Dublin plant in Dublin, Texas.
They sell Dr. Pepper in glass
true
bottles?
for Coke too. That's true for Coke too,
Yeah.
but it's the Mexican Coke. Everybody knows the Mexican Coke. Actually, can I go on a little autistic thing about the Mexican Coke?
Yes.
Go hard.
Please.
I'm Mexican, right? So I spent like the first few years of my life in Mexico, and I grew up drinking Coke. And Mexican Coke, everybody always talks about how good Mexican Coke is. And in my experience, yeah, it's fucking good. It's way better than American Coke. It's not even a competition. But the fucked up thing is, if you go to Mexico these days, they don't sell Mexican Coke in Mexico anymore. They replaced it with American Coke. It's all American Coke in Mexico. They still bottle and manufacture Mexican Coke specifically so they can import it to the U.S. to sell to Americans, which fucks me up because that's the only way you can get Coke with sugar instead of corn syrup anywhere.
Okay, so what you're telling me is they did a colonialism on Mexican Coke.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Because oh my god, what did people just meme Mexican Coke into colonialism? Is that what happened?
Seems
Well,
like it.
actually, no, there's a really interesting story behind this. So, Mexico, sugar is one of the biggest exports of Mexico. It's like a big thing for Mexico, and it's like the backbone of the Mexican government. So there are strict laws about how much sugar needs to be in, like, and what kind of sweeteners you can use for some foods and stuff like that. And for the longest time, Coke had to abide by these, which meant putting real cane sugar in their Coke. But there was a huge lobbying effort combined with the conservative government in Mexico that managed to get Coke. They got this victory where they managed to put high fructose corn syrup in all of their Coke products all across Mexico. And Mexicans hated it, and they still kind of hate it, but they still drink that shit anyways because it's fucking Coke. But what they found out was that Americans really, really like the Mexican Coke. They'll go out of their way to buy Coke imported from Mexico because they love the Mexican Coke. So when they made this big switch, they decided to keep making the Coke anyways and just continue importing it to America like usual, except not giving it to the Mexicans. Which is just like, it's fucked up. It's fucked up, but it's cheaper that way.
Yeah.
That's why they did it.
I hate it.
One thing I'll say is there is a pretty fair trade-off, and this is something that I get pissed off about it constantly, but whatever. That's a pretty fair trade in that, like, have you ever had like chips from Mexico? Like, I'm talking like Mexican Doritos and like Cheetos and shit, like 20 times better than the dog shit they sell in the US.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's not even a competition. I mean, they'll sell like
Doritos are like actual corn chips.
They'll sell like the same chip in the
Can I
same
interrupt
package,
briefly?
the same brand in like Tijuana and then like in San Diego, and you'll try it and it's a completely different chip. It's just not comparable. Mexican chips are just vastly superior in every way.
Go ahead, Rachel.
Chat, please submit chat questions. I wasn't able to say it out loud, but I tried to put it on the screen. So please submit
You
chat
got a bunch
questions.
of motorcycles covering it up, like what is this, Death Stranding 2?
Yeah, this is
Glass bottle shit, by the way. Let me just also mention this. That shit pisses me off, is the Mexican Coke. The reason it's in glass bottles is because if you go to Mexico, you go to a taco place and you get a Coke, it's going to be in a glass bottle and it's going to have this like yellow lid. And the guy's going to open it and you're going to drink it. But at the end, you're going to put it in this big crate. And at the end of the month or whatever, that guy's going to take the big crate back and he's going to send them to the bottling factory and they're all going to get refilled. And that's why they put them in glass bottles. Because, I mean, that's the whole idea. And that's why they do it to, like, I mean, that's how they serve it in Mexico. But the glass bottle Mexican Coke that they sell in the United States, I have a bottle right here behind my copy of 920 London. You'll see it has big white text on the side that says, no retornable. That means you can't return it. So they make these glass bottles because that's how they sell it in Mexico. But you're not allowed to use it like they use it in Mexico. They won't refill these bottles. You have to get them recycled.
I hate capitalism. That's so dumb.
I know.
Fuck.
I know.
So yeah,
Jesus Christ.
we're talking about
Everything's
politics
stupid
so
all
much.
the time. We're talking about politics through the lens of soda.
Can I also say really quick, like, I'm glad that you have oh my god, I can't even remember the numbers. Numbers London. I love that you have that graphic novel, because I also have it. And I also have one of Nirvana's fucking when they put out some shoes. They put out these like Vans, like slip-on kind of things, and I bought them and I used them for sim racing.
I was about to start making fun of you, but then you mentioned Nirvana, and I was like, "Fuck, I'm in a glass house."
Well, Nirvana, like Nervana, like Slim Guilt Soul. You know.
Yeah.
Wait.
Nani. Yeah, she's cool.
But also Kurt Cousins of the band Nirvana.
That guy.
I'm really
yeah.
sad that Kurt Cobain died.
Nirvana the band. The show.
Still? It's been a while.
I'm sad that Kurt Cobain died. I mean, it just makes me sad. Like, poor guy.
She's not. She's not dead. She's right in front of you.
Hey, let's not get... Okay, if we get into weird plural stuff, we'll be here all night.
Hey, Google Andy Kaufman.
Okay, I'm going to. Why?
I
Why is
really
it funny?
like the fucking conspiracy theory that Rivers Cuomo is secretly Kurt Cobain. That shit is the funniest shit in the world to me.
Okay, I googled
just
Andy
the
Kaufman.
idea.
What am I looking for?
Put him on screen, babe.
Oh.
Guy.
No,
Guy.
the implication was that there's a bunch of conspiracy theories that Andy Kaufman faked his own death as his big final prank, and I was just implying that that's what Kurt Cobain did.
This is a big
Yeah.
prank. It was a really good prank.
Holy shit. Okay. So remember when Phil Fish was the whole thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
I thought he just
Yeah.
looked like that. I had no idea. He just used Andy Kaufman as a profile picture.
Yeah. Hey, to be fair, like Phil Fish wishes he looked like Andy Kaufman.
That's pretty true. Yeah. I mean, Andy Kaufman has this like he's attractive in like a very weird kind of like I'm not going to continue that. I
You
don't want to
shouldn't finish
analyze
that
it. I'm not going to think about it.
You should not
Just
finish that
enjoy the
thought.
feeling. Enjoy the feeling,
Enjoy
and
the
don't
feeling.
question it.
Savor it. Enjoy it.
Love it. Hate it. Live with it.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, fucking the conspiracy theory that Rivers Cuomo is secretly Kurt Cobain is really fucking funny to me because I just think it's hilarious that Kurt Cobain would fake his death and go through all that shit only to like become Rivers Cuomo and turn around and spend the rest of his life releasing like hash pipe.
Okay,
Like
so I got.
rips.
I can do you one better than that. What if? Hear me out. What if Rivers Cuomo is just the secret alternate persona of Ariel Pink?
That tracks.
God, I was going through like Weezer stuff with people the other day because I guess Weezer fans are fucking crazy, and there's like just a massive like wiki full of like every single bit of
Hi,
personal lore about Rivers Cuomo's life.
I used to be a Weezer fan. That's true.
I mean, we all were. I mean, I was.
We all were.
I mean,
Not
I
me.
still like.
Not me. I'm ideologically pure. I don't consume media. Fuck you.
That's actually funny because I was just going through Weezer stuff like a few days ago with my fucking friend. It's like, wow, crazy. It's like a coincidence.
Well, it's so funny that like there's just like a massive archive of like that dude's entire life run by his fans. And I love going and reading like the archived forum posts and like the interviews from
Yeah.
like everyone forgets this because like they totally rehabilitated their image after the fact, but like for like a good 8-9 years there, Rivers Cuomo was just this horrific like drug addict edgelord.
Yeah, fucking Ace, yeah.
And like I go back and like look at that stuff and like I don't want to encourage him acting like that, but at the same time like I read that stuff and I'm like, dude, if he never stopped being this person, Weezer would be like the best band of all time.
But also
That's true, but you have to keep in mind that he was like that when he was releasing like Make Believe, you know? Like that's the kind of shit he was doing back then.
Have we talked about? I was kind of distracted. Have we talked about the fact that Rivers Cuomo like contributes to like GitHub shit a lot?
Yeah.
What?
No, I mean
Oh,
that's just
what?
Rivers. Yeah.
Explain
He's
that.
he's a like programmer sucks.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
you're
he had a
zipping of
whole
savior
arc
type
where he learned how to program and like made it like a thing, and he's a programmer now. He made his own website and shit.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I've spent a lot of time like bashing on the guy, but like he seems like the kind of person where like I would be really good friends with him, but then like the second that we stopped hanging out and I started hanging out with someone else, I would do nothing but complain about hanging out, which I'm
Oh God, yeah, I know people
Yeah.
like that. That's just
Yeah.
musicians, though. Come on.
I mean that is just musicians. Like when,
Ow!
I said that in a room full of 3 musicians, and two were like, "Ow, that hurt my feelings," and one was like, "Yeah, pretty much."
I mean I love musicians. They're my people. They always have been. But also like I don't.
Yeah, I feel you.
I don't
By the
consider
way,
myself a musician.
Just someone that makes music.
since we're all, in a room of musicians, I figure it was worth pointing out for the new Cyberpunk 2077 DLC. They're having this like community radio thing, and there's a contest where you submit your music to it. And if you win, you give CDPR like a copyright free like license to use it in their promotional materials and whatnot.
That's fucked, though.
Which is okay. But here's the thing, though. This is also mildly fucked if you consider industry rates, but it's still pretty fucking good for people like me who never have a chance, anyways. Fucking, if you get in, if one of the 15 songs they choose is yours, they give you a Cyberpunk goodie bag, which is cool. They give you a Isotope plug-in pack of some kind, like VST pack.
Okay, but you're talking about being paid in DLC. Like, this is the end of the capitalist death spiral.
There's a third thing. You didn't let me finish. $3,000.
That's not enough. Dog,
it's
that's not
not-
enough to score a fucking video game.
No, I mean, here's
Hold on,
the thing.
hold on.
Right?
We're probably going to be on the same page about this. Like, that's like the one singular time where I would be like, actually, you know what? This does pay an exposure.
Well, yeah, but I
That's
mean, like,
fair.
I'm also sat here, like, $3,000 would allow me to buy, like, a cheap piece of shit used car and also see both of my girlfriends, so fine.
I mean,
And also, I would make more money off of this one.
with that.
And also, I would make more money off of this one thing than I would ever probably be able to, like, legitimately off my own efforts for the rest of my life. So fuck it. I don't know.
I'm with it. Like,
I'm also
Yeah.
of the opinion that like I really like the game. Like I'm at the game is now at a point where like I always kind of liked it, but it's now at a point where it's like I keep rebooting it and playing the game over and over and over again, unlike any
Yeah.
other game I've ever played. So I'm kind of at a
Yeah.
point where it's like it would actually be fucking gnarly to tune into like an in-game radio station and hear my song along other people's
See,
songs.
you have
and
some kind
shit.
of confidence that I don't, because if I saw my own work anywhere, I don't watch these episodes again after they're done. Like, I would vomit.
Well, I mean, I think I've gotten to a point where I've just kind of stopped giving a shit about what I think about my own music in terms of quality, and I've gotten to a point where I'm like, well, I'm creating to create, and if other people like it, then fuck yeah, and if other people don't, whatever. But this is what I make.
Artists are so insane.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I like. What?
Sorry, go ahead.
I just
What?
I'm thinking of doing a reimagining of Weezer's Green Album.
Interesting.
Okay. All right.
I was listening to Weezer's Green Album, and I was in call with a close friend of mine who is a very close female friend of mine, and we were both listening to like the album, and I started like playing one of the songs because the Green Album fucking sucks, and we both have to turn it off because it was so like exhausting. I don't know what it is about the production on that specific album, but it feels the same way drinking Coke with corn syrup makes you feel a minute after.
I have to do some research. I know deep in my heart something is screaming at me that one was a Rick Rubin job.
Probably, yeah. Almost definitely, yeah.
Research right now.
What, like
This is
Rick
active
Rubin doing like the
journalism.
mixing?
Oh
mastering type
wow,
shit?
that one was not Rick Rubin. It was a guy named. Oh, okay. That's a guy that worked. That's a guy that
Is it
like
Rick
did
Ocasek?
production for like Suicide.
Oh, Rick Ocasek produces all the Weezer albums, or he used to before he died.
Welcome to the show, my roommate
Like,
Camilla. Sorry.
wow, why
I
does
don't
the
know,
Green
like-
Albums? Why does it sound like that? This guy produced for
Right?
Suicide.
Right?
What the
I mean,
fuck?
Good gravy.
I think it sounds like that because that's what he was going for. That's what Rivers wanted out of the album, and he got it. But it fucking sucks. It's the worst.
Oh yeah.
Shit. Like it genuinely makes me feel like exhausted to listen to the Green Album for more than a few minutes because just like after those first 3 songs, you got Hash Pipe, you got Photograph, and then you got Island in the Sun. After that, the whole album is just a slog. It's just like the same song 50 times. And every song is like a minute longer than it needs to be. It just repeats the chorus and the verse like 3 times with the exact same production and the exact same guitars, and it makes you want to die. Is what I
So
think
is
about the
that,
Green
like-
Album.
And so is that just like from? So when you say like it's a Rick Rubin job type thing, are you talking about like from a production standpoint, or is he like I don't know
Yeah.
shit about Weezer, so I don't know who's in it except like Rivers.
Well, like yeah. When I talk about like a Rick Rubin job, I just mean like I know for a fact that Rubin produced a number of Weezer's records. I think now in retrospect, I think it might have been Pinkerton and Blue album. I don't really know off the top of my head because
Rick
I'm not
Ocasek
that deep
did
into it. Oh, okay, but I know Rubin did one of them, and
He did Red.
oh. I'm so conflicted about Red because it has like a lot of things I consider like their worst songs, but there are moments on there where like there's some like really good songwriting. It's still
Red is
embarrassing.
a
but,
really,
like,
really interesting album, I think. It's probably one of their more interesting albums.
they tried. I'll give them that.
I just think Rivers Cuomo's a fascinating figure because if you look at his like work and if you really analyze like the stuff he's put out and the stuff he hasn't put out, all the demos that exist online, he's like a really talented songwriter who goes out of his way to choose to be like the most creatively dead, like nothing, boring, nobody, you know? Like he goes out of his way to choose this life.
No, it's exactly like watching like a Baz Luhrmann movie where like the whole time like you're like it's right on the edge of being like a good movie, but then like at the last second they just make like an intentional decision, just like no, we're gonna make this one shit too.
Yeah, that's what Rivers Cuomo does with all of his music. He self-sabotages. I don't know why. I don't know what is like his thing.
Dude,
After
Songs for the
Pinkerton-
Black Hole would have been a much better album.
That's true, but Pinkerton still ripped, so it doesn't matter.
Oh,
But
of course.
after Pinkerton, it felt like every single song he wrote that was good, he would go out of his way to ruin it somehow. Like, I mean, what do you think Can't Stop Partying is, if not that? But again, I noticed this because I was listening to the Green Album and I started playing one of the songs. It was fucking Oh Girlfriend on the acoustic guitar, but not with like the weird Green Album progression, just like strumming the acoustic guitar like into a microphone. And I'm like, wait, this song rips. Like this song is hard as fuck, and that's not the song I was hearing on the album. Can you do this with all the songs on the Green Album? And that's what I answer.
That's something that like there's definitely some merit to that because like okay, my friends and I in a music server, we've been doing this sort of like a March Madness bracket, but for like people's various music tastes in the servers. And as a result of that, both because I have a friend who's like unironically into it and also because he wanted to torture us, I had to listen to all of Saint Anger.
Oh god.
And in the process of that, I went and found someone made a video where they re-recorded all of the songs from Saint Anger, like with people like playing the songs and like it was actually mastered properly and the fucking snare doesn't sound like that. And actually, they're pretty good songs.
Right?
Like only when you're listening to someone else play them.
The biggest problem with the Green Album, I've identified a few problems. It's one, the production is unbearable. It's just so droning and exhausting. Two, every song goes on for way too fucking long, and all the lyrics are entirely incomprehensible. So if you can produce it well, chop every song in half and give it coherent lyrics, the Green Album would probably be passable. It'd be
so
fine.
that's literally the exact same problems with like Saint Anger.
Yeah.
That's
Jesus Christ.
That is so interesting because, like, I am kind of at a point with music production where I can usually pick out issues in a song that I feel I could like in another universe. And just now I've realized it's more often than not because of how the song is produced and how it's mixed, mastered, all that shit. Where, like,
That's like the biggest part of it.
because, like, Architects came out with a new song, and I really, really like it. The guitars have this almost like it sounds almost bit crushed, but not quite. And it's in a way where it sounds really like industrial metal kind of thing, and I really like that. And then there's a couple other songs on their EP that they released with that single that are a little more subdued in that sense. And like it's nice that it breaks up the sound so that it doesn't make that digicrushed guitar sound become stale. But it's also like very noticeable to me that I am personally very sexually attracted to the single, and then the rest of the EP is kind of
This
like,
is
yeah,
what
that's
fucking.
cool. That's okay.
This is what goddamn Amber was talking about. I'm not the horny one on this show. You're always talking about how you want to kiss someone on the butt. It's crazy.
Hey, listen, music makes me feel things, okay?
Music make you lose control. Anyway.
I mean, I feel like you can. You know what? No, I changed my mind. I don't even want to go down the road with this thought. Let's move on.
About being sexually attracted to songs?
What if you?
Yeah, we're not even gonna.
Green Album.
Okay, I'll go there. I am sexually attracted to Chino Marino's voice, the lead singer from Deftones. I'm not attracted to him. He's not my type, but his voice makes me want to cum buckets.
I'm almost offended that you felt the need to specify who Chino Marino is.
I feel I had to specify because there are probably Zoomers in chat who don't know what Deftones is.
The Deftones are like a huge thing on like the YouTube algorithm right now. They know exactly who Deftones are.
I sometimes have doubts because there are some people younger than me that I talk about, like Chino Moreno or Chi Chang, and they don't know what I'm talking about. So.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Yeah,
I guess.
I don't know.
Do we want to take a quick break and then go to chat questions after this?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Sorry, I keep going. Keep going.
But like in particular though, it's just kind of like I'm personally of the belief that Deftones should be like a household name at this point because like they got started in the 90s in the new metal trend and then they swept away from that and continued to be fucking balls out great at what they did. Maybe this is a controversial opinion. I feel like Ohms is a bit of a phone-in kind of album. Like it's kind of like another Deftones album, and it's instead of something like Diamond Eyes or Koi no Yokon, where Diamond Eyes is like really deep, like drop-tuned guitars, but it's also really pretty and shit. And then Koi no Yokon, where it's even prettier and shit. And then Ohms is just kind of like, it's kind of like Saturday Night Wrist, but worse.
I mean, no, go ahead.
It's like, for me, Ohms is still good. It's a good Deftone, like it's a good album, but I don't think it's a good Deftones album, in my opinion. Is that weird?
No, that makes perfect sense. I say the same thing about Dead Space 3 all the time.
Yeah. Also, I think
Tony
is overrated.
Why? Like I like the. Okay, so when Ohms came out, like for context, like I used to have like the I used to have the hipster contrarian thing going for me, where like I was like, all that new metal stuff is bad, and Fred Durst bad, bleh. Like, haha, I'm only going to engage with this ironically because they refuse to approach it on its own terms. That bullshit. Right. So like, I didn't have the sort of nostalgic connection that a lot of people my age do to like stuff like Deftones, and then Ohms came out, and I wound up listening to it because. Zach Hill does snapping with his fingers on one of the tracks.
My balls,
and I was listening to Ohms and I was like, oh wow, this is what Deftones sound like. Shit, this is actually pretty good. Like I might have misjudged this. And then like I went back and listened to their albums before that one, and I was like, oh, all these albums are like 20 times better than the one that got me into them. Interesting.
Yeah. That's really cool because, like, if you go even further back to like towards their Adrenaline album, you can really hear the new metal. Like,
Oh, yeah.
that is
Yeah,
100% like pure new metal, and most of the songs on there, they feel kind of bland to me, and the production isn't like built for those kinds of songs in my opinion. But one song that claps, and I know it claps hard objectively because they still play it in their concerts to this day, is Engine number 9 or number 7. One of it's numbers. I hate numbers. But that song in that production technique and that sound is fucking killer. It's so fucking good. And like when they play it live, it sounds like it does on the album, and Chino just goes fucking insane. And I know this because I like 3 or 4 years ago I went to a concert in South Dakota, one of the few times I've been in America, just to go see that, and I lost my fucking mind. People were moshing and everything when it came on. It was fucking sick. And like
Fuck yeah.
like yeah, and in my opinion there's a lot of albums where the album kind of gets like hit or miss sometimes. Like Saturday Night Risk, there's a lot of hit or miss. White Pony, there's a lot of hit or miss. But like in my opinion, the perfect album, like the perfect Deftones album, is the self-titled album, the one with the roses and skulls. Like that's front to back. I will listen to it like all the time.
You know what? Yeah, no, I can see that.
Yeah.
Just so we're all on the same page here, Deftones are the guys that did Closer, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
100%. You got that exactly
Who
right.
did what?
Closer.
Yeah, the Nine Inch Nails song. Yeah, Deftones did that one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Was that on their
Yeah.
B-Sides and Rarities album?
I think so.
Yeah,
Okay.
It would have had to be, because B-Sides and Rarities was all like covers and stuff, and I still haven't listened to that. But that's mostly because it's like
Oh, no,
other
not-
people's
not
music.
a cover.
Can you
They
check
made
your
the
fucking
song.
programming notes, please? Thank you.
Yes.
I love you.
They made the song. Like, they made it.
Yeah.
Released it.
Yeah, they made the original, like the Nine Inch Nails song. Closer is a Deftones song. Yeah.
Yeah, they made it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did
Okay,
that, like,
I
the whole
understand
too.
now. Okay. I understand. Yeah. Basically, Deftones cool.
Who'd understand?
10 years ago, we had Steve Jobs.
Yeah. All right. I think that's a good point to leave it off for a second. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. Stick around, enjoy some music that I picked while I wasn't talking. But RATURDAY NIGHT.